It's hard to believe that things can change so much as we get older, but did you know the foods you eat will as well? Getting the proper amount of nutrition after 50 years of age can be pretty tricky, but it's also one of the biggest factors in keeping you healthy. If you want to live an active lifestyle as you get older, you should try your best to find foods that you and your body both enjoy, as that can help create better eating patterns. With that in mind, here are 10 foods you should never eat after the age of 50. Number 1. Undercooked or raw eggs, poultry, or meat. As strange as it may sound to you, there are a lot of cultures around the globe that eat raw or undercooked meat, poultry, and eggs. These dishes can be really tasty, but they can also cause huge issues for you as you get older, since these foods can lead to infection. Older people generally have weaker immune systems, something that is pretty hard to avoid. As a result, you are going to have to keep a closer eye on the foods that enter your body, as well as check that they are properly cooked, although anyone can develop infection and sepsis through eating poorly prepared food. Older people are much more at risk and have to be much more vigilant to avoid potentially life-threatening health complications like septic shock. Number 2. Grapefruit. If you are taking consistent medication, you may have been warned by your healthcare specialist or physician to avoid grapefruit. The reason for this is that the ingredients in both grapefruit and grapefruit juice can intensify the effects of drugs that you're taking. This essentially has the same effect as increasing your dose would, and it can cause a lot of damage to your internal system, especially your liver and kidneys, which have to filter and detoxify your medication. If you are taking any medication, but particularly those for high blood pressure, anxiety, or insomnia, then you should strongly consider kicking grapefruit to the curb, as complications involving the fruit are pretty common. If you are unsure of whether or not your particular medication will have a negative effect when consuming grapefruit, talk to your doctor or look at the label of the medication. It should have something that warns you to avoid grapefruit on the packaging, otherwise you should be good to go. Number 3. Deli meat. Next up on our list is deli meat. While many elderly people may eat deli meat in order to hit their daily protein goal, it may actually have a negative impact on your health after 50. This is because of everything around the protein, which includes sodium and additives. As we get older, our walking speed isn't the only thing that slows down. Our system is less able to handle high amounts of sodium or unnatural additives than it used to be. Deli meats are usually cured with salt, and you would be hard-pressed to find a type at your local grocery that isn't loaded with additives and preservatives. In fact, continuing to get your protein from sources like deli meat, bacon, or processed meats actually makes you more likely to suffer from colorectal cancer, according to the American Institute for Cancer Research. Getting your protein sources in other ways, like from salmon, tuna, chicken, or soy, will help to resolve this problem and keep your body from having to work overtime to keep you healthy. Number 4. Caffeine. One of the hardest things for people to give up as they get older is their desire for caffeine. This can actually be an addictive substance, and many people can go years without even realizing that they're addicted. Thankfully, caffeine withdrawals are pretty minimal, and most people barely notice them, since you probably want to give up coffee, energy drinks, or anything with caffeine once you get to 50. Sleep can be a hard thing to get as you get older, and insomnia tends to strike as you age, and adding caffeine to the mix will only make it harder to get any rest. On top of that, caffeine has been known to cause anxiety issues, as well as making your heart beat more often or even irregularly. Heart attacks aren't something you want to mess with, but putting that much strain on your heart is how you can increase your chance of suffering from one. It may be hard at first, but avoiding caffeine for a while and limiting your ingestion could help you avoid health complications, as well as improve both your mood and your sleep cycle. Number 5. Sushi. For similar reasons to our point around uncooked food, you should be careful about how much sushi you are eating as you get older. It's unfortunate to have to look at foods after 50 years of age so differently, but it's important in order to keep your body safe. Sushi, by nature, is prepared raw in most cases, and that alone should not trigger any sort of infection. You just have to be selective about where you are getting your sushi from. Eating bad sushi for older people won't just result in a bad case of food poisoning, or a little stomach discomfort, as your body no longer has the same ability to fight off infection as it once did. On top of all that, sushi also tends to contain a lot of sodium, depending on the type and where you get it from, which can also result in some health issues as you continue to age. Sodium is a big factor for both heart disease as well as high blood pressure, which can result in heart disease. If you are at a sushi place and unsure what kinds you can trust, asking your server for more details could be helpful. Or doing research at home before going could help you to calm your nerves about the decision. Number 6. Nuts and popcorn. Any sort of hard, tough food could cause problems for you after you reach the age of 50. Not only can these kinds of foods like nuts or popcorn potentially hurt your teeth or dentures, but they can also cause quite a bit of irritation to your digestive system too. In order for your body to break down these foods, it requires more stomach acid than usual, and that can have you feeling the effects of heartburn or indigestion almost immediately after. That's why a lot of people switch to a softer food diet as they get older, and when you turn 50, it's the perfect time to soft launch this switch. Number 7. Pastries. We won't insult your intelligence and act like you don't already know that pastries are a bad choice for your health, but we wanted to share just why they're so much worse once you turn 50. Pastries contain high amounts of sugar, fat, or calories, and usually all three. And on top of that, they don't really serve any sort of health value. They don't really fill you up, which is why people often eat multiple at a time. When you eat sweets, your body actually gets a liking for them, particularly the sugar. And you will start to experience more frequent cravings for sweet treats throughout the day. Obesity, heart disease, and cholesterol problems can all result from eating too many sweets. And as you get older, your metabolism slows to a crawl. You probably don't want to spend your senior years working off the sweets you ate at 50, so keeping your sweet tooth in check isn't usually the worst idea as you start to get older. Number 8. Fried or fast food. Another somewhat obvious food that you are going to want to keep in check as you get older is fried food. This obviously includes fast food, but any kind of fried food you regularly eat should probably be looked at closely as you get older. Not only do fried foods increase your chance of suffering from obesity as you get older, they also impose on your ability to create a healthy and filling meal structure. As you get older, the structure around your eating is more important, and a lot of people feel they have to be more precise about what they are putting into their bodies. If you are frequently eating fast food, it eats up a lot of the calories you allow yourself that day, and can make it harder to stay true to your goals. Every time you eat fried food for a meal, you probably are cutting out the opportunity to get a snack or treat that may actually mean more to you to begin with. Number 9. Alcoholic beverages. There's a reason that moderation is constantly preached to people about alcohol. It's because drinking alcohol can result in some major health complications. And our bodies aren't at all good at processing alcohol. It can result in reduced brain function, liver disease, and is very addictive. If you are someone who drank when they were younger, even if you had a responsible relationship with it, you should strongly consider distancing yourself from alcohol as you get older. If you are taking any medications when you get to the age of 50, and most people are, any kind of alcohol can interfere with the medication, minimizing or altering the effects in a negative way. Number 10. Sugar-free drinks. When you hear the word sugar-free for a product, you shouldn't let that convince you of anything. Oftentimes, these drinks will contain a whole lot of additives in order to give it flavor, which can actually mess with us even more than sugar does. Research has already shown that these sugar-free products can result in weight gain, and there's even some evidence to suggest that they could lead to Alzheimer's disease. Many people also take advantage of the sugar-free nature of these drinks, having more of them than they would ever with a regular drink. Moderation is extremely important, as our bodies can be overwhelmed when they have too much of something. And so making sure you limit the amount you are drinking is also important. Here are 2 more videos you might find interesting. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like and share the video with your friends. And for more interesting videos on health, subscribe to the channel.